In this video, I'm going to do what is called a file menu. Like I know the menu mostly in that of the top left hand corner, more kind of a 3 lines or any way it's being presented. Just know the menu whereby I click on it, it drag and print out some other things for you on the screen. Now, previous video, we're able to do that of the list box, also a little of the file dialog, the progress bar, and a whole lot of other things. So let me just comment it out. So we can have a little bit of room to work with. So the first one we're going to do is to create a menu bar. That menu bar, what the menu bar is basically going to do, it's going to be of two types. The first is going to be like that of the environment, or I can say that of the window that's going to be, the menu bar is going to be placed on top of it. Think of it like your cup and then you pour water into it. Think of that water as the second menu bar. The cup that is holding the menu bar is the shell, or they can see the main things. Even though explanation is not making sense, but let's just go on so we can understand what we're actually doing. So like I said, the first step is to create the first menu bar. So we can say menu underscore what? Bar, and then we can come here and say menu. Just simple as that. And second, the first parameter we're going to set, and the main parameter, a whole lot of other parameter, but I want us to just make use of one so it won't be complex. So we're going to set that of the main. Remember that the main is the variable we use to initialize of our TK, which is stand for our Tkinter, which is our application. So this is going to be like the main shell, which is the menu bar. So the first one I'm going to look at the way the files or the configuration are going to be stayed there. So I can see something like that of file menu. So just know that this is the main body and this is what is going to be contained inside it. So I'm going to try done. So let me close this. So here I'm going to say, what am I going to say here is going to be, I'm going to call another menu. And instead of us setting this up our main the variables to create our this thing, we're now going to set this menu bar, because this menu bar is not like another environment that we're working with. So we're going to say the main what bar. Instead of setting this menu bar is not going to take it, not be that kind of environment that we're working with. So we can set the type. This is not the needed much, so but I can just set it normal, not really much. If we don't set it, it's going to take that of the normal or that of the menu by depending where the Tkinter system is being configured. So now we're going to start adding that of the label since that we want to be displayed on the screen. Now we're going to make use of this file menu, because this file menu is now the shell. First what we're going to do is to call this of our file menu. We're going to do is to add they want it. So add what command. So that of them we are going to give it our label. What label do we want to display on the screen? So I can say open file 1. So we can add as many commands. Let me just copy this, paste. So here is going to be 2, here is going to be 3. You can also decide to add a separator, but the way this is going to be presented, you don't need to add a separator for this. So the next thing we are basically going to do is to configure it in this of our menu. This is our menu bar that we have initialized initially. So I'm going to configure everything for it on this our menu bar, and this menu bar I'm going to configure it on our this main guy. So but let's just do it. So then I'm going to explain everything in well detail. Configure in this of our menu bar, we can see this of our menu bar. So let me just move this. It's going to be small letter menu bar. This menu bar is talking about this of our menu bar here. We're going to do what dot. We're going to add what underscore cascade, and this cascade we are going to give it. And this cascade we are going to give it a label. It's just going to be the general name that all the file menu are going to have. So we are going to let's just call it label. So we are giving it label and the menu that we want it to. So we are going to say is that of the menu. We want it to be that of the what file menu. So but you're still getting it confused. Let me explain this in more details. This menu we initialize there, we created a menu just like saying something that includes your, I can use the example your cup, water is that of the menu. Assume this is the that of the cup, and then we inherited from this to the menu, and this file menu inherited from this to menu. And this file menu is not like a another layer that's on top of this of our menu, which we are with this layer we give it all these parameters here. So this open file 1, open file 2, open file 3. You can add as much as you want, and here we will try to add this menu bar. Just give it a label. Okay, let me just change this to files. The label. Then when we run this, we are going to see it, and then inside of this menu we set the menu to be this of our file menu. So the next one we're going to do is to configure this of our menu bar to be on our environment. So how can we do this? So we can call that of our main that we initialize. So we can say that of the, we can say main.config. So we want it to be displayed, everything to be layered properly on that of the our main environment. So what we're going to say, we can actually say menu, the main that of our what menu bar. So let's run this. I'm going to quickly explain it really fast. So let's run this. You can see somewhere this guy here, file. Come on. So when I hit on this file, you can see I get this kind of drop down thing. This guy, which is our open file 1, open file 2, and open file 3. If I click on them, nothing is happening. Just close it. So we can actually see all kind of a button. We can actually set a command to it. Let's say I want, instead of file 3, I can say exist. So here I'm going to, let me import our, I can say import what sms exist that. This I can come here and say what command. So I can say ss word dot. Yep, this should be it. So when I hit the exit, it's going to exist. So let me run this again. And then I hit on this file, I can see the name change to it. When I hit the exist, everything closes up. So it's just basically what we did here. We created a menu directed from this of our main environment, and then this file menu created from the environment that we created on top of the environment, and then out of the environment we gave it all these tests. Remember that this is a kind of a button, so we can actually take another argument, which is this of the command, and then here we'll try to all this layer that we created, all this file menu, then we'll try to wrap it up with that of the file menu bar, and which we did here, and then we gave it a test file, and then we set the menu to the menu file. So after that, we need to wrap the main menu to that of the main environment, so we can wrap well. So this is what we did. We set the configuration and we set the menu to that of the menu. But if we were to set this to that of the file menu, what is basically going to happen? We're actually trying to set the file menu to be on the environment, whereby meanwhile the file menu we created initially was not actually on that of the environment. But with once you must set it in this way, setting the common. Then once we can set the file menu, we can decide to neglect this particular point and then move over to this point by just calling it and then put it on the environment. I also want this to be a separate environment on its own that we can work with. So in the next video, I'm going to explain this a little bit more if you are getting any confused. I think it is where we draw the curtain from this file menu. The next video, I'm going to do something else. We're going to explain this a little more detail in our next video. So I'll be happy to see the next video. Thank you for watching.